shooters, shooters, and more shooters. These are the games that I play or have played and I recommend. This list is in no particular order, so buckle up Buttercup and let's dive into the top VR shooters that you need to be playing. And don't worry, in this list I even included the ones that are not multiplayer. This one has been one of the most polished VR experiences yet. And of course it is Breachers. This is a tactical VR shooter that's pretty much been dubbed as the Rainbow Six Siege of VR, but you don't have the operators. So this one focuses hard on teamwork, communication, and precise execution. I do wish you could sit here and knock holes into the walls, but that's something they couldn't do strictly because of the hardware that they are on, which is standalone Quest. But you do have the walls, the hatches, and the windows, which are breakable. They currently have 8 maps and more coming. They are consistently updating the game, and that's what I like most about this. And while they're doing this, they also have Hyper Dash, which is free to play if you want to check that one out. This one is a fast-paced shooter, and you're running around with 2 pistols. So much like the title, it's Hyper Dash. You do have dashing. You can't just dash all over the place though, so there's a cool off on it. And they put this one as free to play whenever they drop Breachers. They got game modes like Payload, Capture the Flag, Team Deathmatch, Free for All, and the servers are really packed, so definitely jump in and check it out. It's free. What do you have to lose? Except possibly your hearing if you get one of those Gorilla Tag lobbies. Next one is Pavlov Shack. This one's an oldie but goodie, only because it was in beta for so long before they finally went to the paid version of it, and they have been recently updating this one as well. This one is one of the more realistic style shooters, so you have that realistic weapon handling where you actually gotta pull the mag, slap one in, and then rack it if you were empty, which I do love. I like having the realistic reload in, like all the games that I play. Like, I do wish Breachers had that. They do have a lot of team-based multiplayer modes in here. I do enjoy the 5v5 search and destroy, which is pretty much a classic competitive game mode. I see a lot of people have been steering towards the TTT though, where you gotta uncover the traitors and the classic murder mystery gameplay. But that one's kind of a little ridiculous in the public lobby, so I kind of gravitate more towards just the shooter game modes. Honestly, Infection is a crazy one to play, and if you hit their mods up, you can play some prop hunt, which I love that one. That one's a lot of fun.
Oh, I know that far anywhere.
So on the release for this, they added gun skins, and then recently I saw they added a couple more maps and more gun skins. So I do see the devs still giving some love to the game. Veil just got a new update as well. This one went free to play, or well, kind of. This one did the Gun Raiders approach and made a social lobby where you can sit here and free for all day long, which I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, because in Gun Raiders, everybody just lingered towards the social lobbies, and the devs ended up catering to that. The issue turned out to be where the devs focused on trying to keep people in the app rather than playing the core aspect of the game. Essentially, they lost track of the root cause of the game being developed. So when you see Veil is free to play, don't get confused. You're not going to be jumping in and playing the artifact mode or all of the core aspects of the game that's, you know, fun. You're going to be over here playing putt-putt or trying to stab little Jimmy and Timmy over here with a knife in the little social lobby where you're probably going to get your ear holes caved in by the highest screech possible. So I do hope they convert a lot of this into sales for the Veil combat game, because Veil is fun. They do have free-for-all, team deathmatch, all of the game modes. My favorite game mode has been Artifact, because this is just the sweatiest of the sweat. This is their version of Search and Destroy. This is the mode they have tournaments on. So go ahead and jump into the free social lobby right there. Check out the gunplay of it. If you like it, buy Veil Combat, which is weird to say. Veil Combat. It used to be just Veil. Next one is a newer one, and this one is free to check out right now while they're doing their testing. This is Frenzies. Pretty much imagine Fall Guys with guns, you know? It's like that Mario Party type thing. You're doing a bunch of FPS mini games, and you gotta consistently place as high as you possibly can in order to win the game. That's the whole point. So the current setup that I've seen is you're playing 5 rounds, and these are 5 different mini games in here. You got like red light, green light, where you gotta shoot people when it's green, stop shooting when it's red, or you're gonna kill yourself. Classic free-for-all where you just run around and shoot everything that you see. A game that's pretty much like Oddball from Halo, which is called Glitter Pig. You gotta hold the Glitter Pig as long as you can to score all the points. They have Pop Capture, which is pretty much domination. Button Push, which is almost like Capture the Flag, only you just gotta make it over there instead of come back. Another one called Pool Party, where you gotta go over and dance in front of their spawn and try not to die. The longer you're alive there dancing, the more points you are scoring. And if I didn't mention it already, you're running dual guns. So you can have dual assault rifles, you can have 1 shotgun, 1 assault, you can have a revolver and a pistol, you can have an Uzi and an assault rifle, however you want to go about it for your loadouts. Again, all the links will be in the description so you can check out all of the games. Any game that you're purchasing, you can get 10% off using my links below. Next one up is Contractors. This one rivals Pavlov Shack, so it does have the realistic reloading. Again, that's where you gotta pull the mag out, shove a mag in, and rack it if you were empty. If not, you can continue shooting. In this update, it boosted it up to 24-player lobbies, so you can do like 12v12 and stuff like that. One thing I can say here is it's not just the core gameplay of Contractors that is great. It's going to be the mods that they have, and all these mods are free. You can play the maps from Call of Duty, you can play the maps from Halo, you can even have the weapons. TF2 is in here as well. There are so many different mods that make this game great. And the movement in here is fast-paced. You can run, slide, and jump just like in Call of Duty, which would be the reason why the community brands it as Call of Duty in VR. I do want to pivot off of this one to their sister game that they just made, which is Contractor Showdown. They just concluded Season 1. We're currently waiting on Season 2. This is pretty much Warzone in VR. This is 60-player lobbies, which is like unheard of in VR. However, I do want to note that currently in its state, because it's shifting from Season 1 to Season 2, there's a little bit of downtime. The player base is a little low, so you're not going to be guaranteed on full lobbies currently. If you're looking to purchase this one, I would wait until Season 2 drops, just to be sure you're not going to purchase a game and then jump in and end up with like 20-player lobbies. Now, I played the hell out of this one from Alpha all the way to Season 1, so I do want to say my opinion here, the current state is a little unstable. So that's why I'm saying it's on you if you want to purchase and play it, but it is still a noteworthy game. It is Warzone in VR. I'm really hoping Season 2 is going to bring it back to the roots. Another free game here is Paintball Playground. This game is a lot of fun, and it is 5v5. They do have the single tap game modes if you're used to playing paintball in real life. I do recommend the 3-tap ones because it's more game style oriented. And I did have a lot more fun when I was in the 3-tap versus the single tap. And they do have a competitive community, so if you do want to jump in with your team from like Breachers or Veil or Contractors or Pavlov or whatever you do, you can jump in and get as competitive as you want. They have many different maps, and the developers are actively updating this game. It's not quite released yet, so definitely jump in there and check it out while it's still in the early stages. And if you get involved into their Discord, you can help shape the future of the game as well. That is one thing I do love about VR. Getting involved and help shaping the future of the game is a huge plus. I mean, I can't say that for all the games because some of them just didn't want to listen to the community, right? Next one up is from the developers of Onward, and I can honestly say you could probably want to try Onward as well. It's an oldie but goodie, but I want to pivot off of that to their newer game, Tier 1 Direct Action. And you can check it out. The link is in the description. Get involved. You should be able to get in there to do a little bit of beta testing, but they just wrapped up their whole Kickstarter campaign, so all the Kickstarters get to go first. Sorry, but that's just how it is. It's created by military veterans and devs from the former Onward team, which is great. They're aiming to redefine realism and teamwork. As long as I don't gotta feed and water my character, I don't care. I don't want to go out there and get a tapeworm in the middle of a fight. And I imagine this game's gonna be built both for standalone and PCVR. So again, these links are in the description. Jump into the Tier 1 Discord and get involved with it. Whenever they roll out testing, guarantee I will be up in there. Another one that is an early beta is Anomaly, and this one is an extraction shooter. This is from the developers of Swarm. This game's not even completely finished with its artwork, and it's been so addicting. So if you imagine Into the Radius environments meets Hunt Showdown with the game style, that is pretty much what this game is. And it's trios. You can get 3 people up in your squad and just go out there to the, I believe it's 12-person servers. I could be wrong. It could be even more just because it's so active when I'm in there. And the map is massive. Well, this one that we're testing on, I know there's more maps coming. This one's not the crazy hyper-realistic that Ghost of Tabor is, which is one of the next ones I'll be talking about. So it doesn't have that crazy survival aspect to it. You don't have to worry about hyperventilating when you run too fast. You don't gotta drink water every 5 to 6 minutes for some odd reason. You don't have to cure your tapeworm in your stomach because your guy's just starving to death in 17 minutes. So in this game, you're raiding for artifacts and of course, any equipment you pick up. The first artifact on top is easy to get. The second one just below surface is a little harder to get. And of course, the one all the way down at the bottom of the third layer is brutal. Each one is worth more when you loot it, and also the loot as you go further down is better. So just like any extraction, you gotta loot everything you can, sell what you want, keep what you need, upgrade your equipment, and then go right back at it. And again, this one is free to try right now. The link is in the description with all the other links as well. Sign up for the playtest. It is in closed beta currently. Get involved and shape the future of this game. And jumping right off of that one is into Ghost of Tabor, pretty much Tarkov in VR. This one has the realistic reloads just like Pavlov, just like Contractors. But the game does have a variety of scenarios from scavenging and looting and crafting. Their crafting gets a little tedious in my opinion. Like it's down to where you can just like craft single bullets and then put them into a mag. So again, this one does have the crazy survival aspect where you gotta make sure you have the stamina going, you gotta have energy, you gotta hydrate your character, and you gotta make sure you feed the tapeworm that it has in its stomach, because this combat soldier is always aggressively hungry. Give him that chocolate yum yum bar. The weapon handling and the combat in the game is great, so jump in and enjoy it. So the next one is a hybrid game. You can play player versus player, or you can jump in and do co-op missions. This is Tactical Assault VR. This game has constantly been getting updates, and the latest update brought the new mission Hammerfire, which is a new map to multiplayer, but also the new co-op mission where you gotta track down a helicopter, blow it up, and then you gotta find the high value target, shoot him in the head, because if not, you're gonna blow everybody up. This dude has a bomb strapped to his chest. After you shoot him, you gotta rush over there and cut the wire, because it is a suicide bomb. Essentially, it's just gonna go off after some time because it hit the ground. And then you gotta extract. That's just one of the missions, and they have many of these. You can play up to 6 players, and it is crossplay. And if you don't want to play with anybody, you can hit these missions solo. Now jumping into the player versus player aspect of it, this is a lot slower pace for me because this is a lot like Onward. These levels are massive. It is a big learning curve to me because I am a very close quarters combat person, so being forced out into the open like this was a kick right into my cluckers. This game does have a lot of different loadouts for breaching, ripping doors off the hinges, blasting through them. For me, shotgunning through them was the best because you can also use a shotgun on people. I do recommend this game because it is an all-around game, not just for multiplayer, but also for solo fun. Bringing up a single player game here, Split Second. And I was told that they do have multiplayer. You just have to go into a little weird way about it. If you do know how to do the demos, it's the same way. You have to change the live version to one of the old ones, which is a multiplayer version of the game. Split Second, this is the ready or not of VR. And I was stoked when I jumped in. I still have more missions to complete in here. Split Second is a lot of fun, and it's just that. You only have a split second to make your decision if you're going to pull the trigger and shoot a civilian in the face, or were you right? Was he holding a gun that he was about to arm and blast your toe hairs off with? When I jumped in, they had many different levels and a bunch of different difficulties. I managed to take on one of the harder modes. I think it was Extreme. I can't really remember at this point in time. I'm sure when I'm editing, I'm going to place it up here and feel dumb because, you know, it says it right there. Don't question my methods. So do check out Split Second. It is a great single player game. Another one to mention here for solo campaigns, Zero Caliber 2. The gunplay isn't quite as good as like Pavlov or Contractors. However, it does have the realistic reloading. The way this game brings you through the campaign was something that was different the way it did it. The way they just shifted you into the action. And anybody who's played the game kind of knows what I'm talking about here, how they just build you up and just kind of inject you into the situation. This one showcased a lot of the tactical SWAT style clearing houses and bunkers and stuff. So that was one of the aspects that I really liked about it. Do buff up the difficulty if you are experienced in VR shooters, and I imagine anybody who's watching this channel most likely is experienced in the VR shooters. When I got the veteran, it was better, it was harder, it was challenging. When you start out, it was way too easy. I was clearing the whole game with just a pistol. Another single player game is going to be Metro Awakening. This is a very high quality AAA game you must play. The reason why I liked it so much is because coming from the Metro games, you got to play the doctor in this one, so it took on a whole different story and you got to learn the whole background of it. I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything, so I'm not going to go too detailed into it other than this is a must-have, and I think it is something you must play in VR when you're totally immersed in the headset. When you have a spider crawling around on you in a flat screen game and you just, oh, let me click my mouse, no, it's not going to offer the same type of immersion as when you're trying to grip it off of you. And just a helpful tip for you in Metro, whenever you are in the super cold environment and your mask is fogging up, don't forget to wipe it. You can wipe all of that off. That's as far as I'm going to go because I don't want to give any spoilers. Enjoy the game. Now, if you do have a good gaming PC, I do recommend playing Metro on PCVR, but I wanted to bring some love to PCVR. Vertigo 2 is another single player game. This single player adventure is built straight for VR, which is awesome. You're going to be exploring the depths of the vast quantum reactor as you descend to finish your journey home. There are some puzzles and stuff in this one, but this first-person shooter brings a pretty rich story to life, and honestly, running around in here trying to complete the campaign, which I still haven't finished yet, has burnt through quite a few hours in my time. If you are newer to VR for PCVR, check out Half-Life Alyx. It is a must. Not only is the game amazing, the mods they have are completely amazing. You can add on many campaign hours with all of the mods. There are too many mods to even showcase. Just know that if you just go to the Steam workshop for Half-Life Alyx, you can just dig through there and enjoy a bunch of stuff. Now, I do want to mention they do have Half-Life 2 as well, which I'm going to be getting very shortly. Same scenario as Half-Life Alyx, PCVR only, and the mods are beautiful. Next one up is Hard Bullet. Again, PCVR, but it is coming to Quest. This one is a sandbox, and it does have some little things you can clear through. Probably too gory for me to showcase. I tried to showcase some of it here, and YouTube had to get involved, and I had to censor quite a bit of it. If you imagine just a gory bone lab, then you've pinpointed Hard Bullet here. Only the guns work incredibly well, unlike Bone Lab. It felt like I was playing with a Fisher-Price Nerf gun. So Hard Bullet's gunplay is much better, and also throwing knives, superb. Felt like John Wick up in this. And the final one I did want to mention is Blood Trail. I probably can't showcase any of it because, just as the name states, Blood Trail. This one's on PCVR only, and it is just as gory, if not more gory, than Hard Bullet. Next one is an oldie but goodie. This is After the Fall. This is pretty much Left 4 Dead in VR. I think this one's about 3 years old, to be honest, but they've done quite a few different updates. If you're looking to do a co-op zombie shooter, then jump into this one. So I actually did a video not too long ago on this one. It was me and Hideki. We jumped in as a Spartan 2.0 over here and got slapped down on, I think it was Mastery or Nightmare mode. So we ended up landing on Veteran and did the final level to complete it just because I wanted to beat the game on Veteran mode. And it was rough. We were drenched in blood. I'm sure I got some form of diseases. Maybe I turned into a zombie and I just don't realize it. I do put this on a list of recommendations, especially if you want to do like solo. It does have AI that joins with you, or you can go in there and just go at it with some friends. It's up to 4 players though. So choose 3 others that you like, or maybe you just want to leave behind so they can die. It's all up to you if you want to troll. But anyways, hopefully you found some games to check out. Again, all the links are in the description. You can hit my link tree right there. Also goes through all the accessories that I have, all the accessories that I recommend. Everything in there should give you discounts of some sort. I know all the games are 10% off. I did want to mention at a certain time, particularly around Black Friday, that may be even bigger, possibly 20% off. If you found some games you like, don't forget to leave a like on the video. Feel free to pass this over to some people who are looking for some shooters to play. And again, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace out till then.
Yep, you're right. I think that was that